Hello, everyone. It's Mr. Colley, and today's topic is going to be about the 1920s, the good times, the 9 years of extreme economic growth and Americans living beyond their means. Now, prosperity was the theme of the 1920s. Okay, people overextended themselves. The middle class bought on credit many new convenience products that were becoming available. Okay, vacuums, dishwashers, refrigerators. Okay, things that people felt they couldn't live without. Now let's set the stage. The president. Who's the president during the 1920s? Okay, we have Warren Harding. Now there's an expression. I'm sure your parents always say this. Family members. You judge by the company you keep. Watch the friends you hang out with. Here is a prime example of this being so true. He was a good man. He was a trusting man. And what happened is when you talk about a president's cabinet, you talk about Washington, you talk about Hamilton. Hamilton, cabinet members are very prestigious. They usually do extreme, good work during a president's terms. Well, Harding's cabinet made history for the wrong reasons. They were nicknamed the Ohio Gang. They were the first ever cabinet members and to be sentenced to federal prison. Okay, so you have a president who's making history for the wrong things. Okay, now what happened? Okay, oil was, is, and will always be a commodity that the United States and the rest of the world craves. Okay, so what happened was cabinet members discovered that there was oil on federally owned land, and what they did was they sold that oil that wasn't theirs on federally owned land. Okay, they were accused of taking and found guilty of taking bribes that summed over $300,000 in the 1920s. Now, 1920s have a growing economy. Okay, America is living. It's considered the world's richest economy. Okay, the automobile had become an accepted part of American life. Americans were earning more money than ever before, and what was happening is they were making more money and working less, which gave them time to spend money. Okay, so wages increased as their work hours decreased. Not a bad thing. Okay, mass production. There was a new way to make goods. Okay, so what you would do is you would make a lot of a product, usually done with half labor, half machines. Okay, it lowers the cost to consumers. You're able to produce more of a product, and this formula changed American economy. Now, who was the father of mass production? Henry Ford is nicknamed the father of mass production. Okay, on his assembly line, let me explain to you. His assembly line, he was very, very intelligent. He divided operation tasks broken down to workers. Okay, what he did was basically you would do the same thing every day. You say you worked at Henry Ford's automobile plant, and your job was, as you see here, to put the tires on. That's all you did for your whole career. So every day you got better and more efficient. The more efficient you get, the more products they produced. The more cars they make, the more profit Ford makes. The more profit Ford makes, the better he treats his workers. Now, look how amazing this is for a second. Take a look at this. In 1913, it took Ford workers 12 hours to make one car. That's half a day. By 1925, a Ford car came off the assembly line every 10 seconds. Now, to show you how it lowers costs, take a look at this. In 1908, you could have bought a Model T Ford for $825. 1924, you buy an improved car for $295. You see, mass production brings the cost way down. Now, social impact of the automobile. For those who are learning how to drive, for those who are going to drive, there's nothing like the freedom of having your own car, okay, coming and going as you please. But let's talk about the social impact of it, okay? The byproduct of the automobile are small businesses, okay, whether it is garages, gas stations, diners, okay, more businesses evolve because of the automobile, okay? Now, if you lived in the rural section of a country, now you're connected to the city life. If you lived in the city, you're connected to the rural life. So you have more people connecting with other people, and no one's living in isolation anymore. Then you have something called the commuter. You don't have to live where you work, okay? So people are working in one place, living in another. And then you have the invention of the suburbs, okay? So the automobile really had a long-lasting impact, and still does, on American life. Now, consumer goods. Remember I talked to you about how people are making more money and working less? Well, you have something that's called disposable income. That's income, that's money that you could spend on other goods. You pay your bills and you have money left over. Okay, disposable income is money that you could spend after all your bills are paid. Now, I know this is going to sound pretty like unreasonable, and you're not going to believe that people went into debt to buy these goods. Today these aren't luxury items. Back then they were. Okay, electric razors, frozen foods, electric irons, vacuum cleaners, washing machines, refrigerators. Now, bear with me. I know when you see, say, like a wealthy celebrity and they showcase their home, no one's like, oh, look at my refrigerator. Or they always open what's in it, but never say, oh, look at my stainless steel refrigerator, or look at my new iron, or my new washing machine. No, guys. Oh, look at my vacuum. But back then, that was the latest and the greatest. Okay. Now, remember, America is going to accept their role as a consumer. And sadly, and I'm sure this is going to change after this crisis, we are a consumer society. Okay, we buy things, we don't make them. And when there's a crisis, as you say, everything we need is depending on another country. Whether it was ventilators, whether it's masks, whether it's the vaccine, whether it's the tests, they're all made in China. Okay, so that puts us in a very tough situation. Okay, so here, consumer society, higher wages, shorter work days, increased buying power, Americans become consumers, and we have never stopped since. Now, credit, layaway, we've all heard of this to a certain extent. Buy now, pay later. Okay, think of this for a second. Many racked up debt to buy family car, radio, furniture, washing machine, vacuum cleaner. Okay, now bear with me. When you use a credit card or you buy on credit, 99% of the time, you're buying something you don't need with money that isn't yours. If you think of that every time, you'll use a credit card less and less and less. I'll repeat that. When you use a credit card, 99% of the time, you're buying something you don't need with money you don't have. Okay? So America got themselves in trouble here. Okay? Because imagine for 9 years, Americans are racking up debt, buying things they don't need on credit. After 9 years, you have to start paying for this. So this is setting the stage for the Great Depression. Okay, for 9 years, many Americans bought items on credit. Can't do that because eventually you borrowed more than you could ever pay back, and that's what happened. Okay, so I hope this presentation set the stage for the video you saw yesterday. Okay, it will follow now with some questions. I will attach that. Okay, I hope everyone's having a great day. Stay safe, stay well, stay strong. Social distancing. We're almost through this, guys. Be well.